Another week in residency, baby.
There we go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a doctor. I should know better.
For today's workshop, we use pigs.
This is the behind the scenes. I actually called out of work on Saturday.
I don't even know what I'm rambling about at this point, but this is my vlog, so you guys get to deal with it.
Welcome back, vlog. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. My weekend took a bit of a turn of events. So Friday, I started to feel pretty sick. Pretty bad, honestly. And by Friday night, I was actually completely out of commission to the point where I actually called out of work on Saturday. I was supposed to do a 24-hour call and I just couldn't do it. So I called out sick. I felt very guilty for it. It's the first time I've called out of work so far, but I was completely non-functional whatsoever. Went back and forth on the decision, but just realized I can't take care of people if I don't feel good myself, and I was definitely not in a position to go to the hospital the next day. Thankfully, one of the chief residents at my program, Alex, he absolutely clutched up and covered my call for me. I'm just taking one of his calls later in December, but it was really nice of him to do that, so I didn't have to come into work sick. So huge shout out to Alex. I know he doesn't watch the vlogs. You guys don't know who Alex is, but let's get some thank you Alexes in the comments, or W Alex, whatever you guys want to do. He really came in clutch and helped me out a lot. Anyway, I feel a lot better now. Took a bunch of medications over the weekend, got a lot of rest, and feeling pretty back to baseline today. Besides that, it ended up being a very nice Thanksgiving weekend. Got to see some family who came into town. That was really nice. But as you guys can see, we are back at it. Another week in residency, baby. We got a urology lineup today, it looks like. So hopefully nothing too crazy. I'll keep you guys updated. And as always, let's have a good day.
Please press the call button to log in.
Alright guys, I am done with my day. Not a bad Monday, like I said earlier, just a bunch of urology cases. Really nothing complicated, just regular old general anesthesia. All my patients tolerated their anesthetics just fine. Flow of everything was good. Good start to the week overall. I realized this week will actually be a little interesting because Wednesday, I am not done when my cases are done. I actually have a workshop to go to for cricothyrotomy, so like anterior neck airways, basically like an emergent airway. We are doing a workshop on pigs, I guess. I don't actually know all the details yet. I got an email today reminding me about it, so I'm gonna go look at that later. So after I'm done with everything on Wednesday, I'll actually head to a sim center to do that workshop. And then Thursday is an education day, which is basically like a full day of lectures and then usually some workshops as well. But that'll basically be an out of OR day. So long-ish week, I guess. Gotta get through Friday. I'm off Saturday, and then I'm on a 24 on Sunday, going into Monday. So just kind of gotta push through this. And now it's about 2 o'clock. I need to go run some errands and then go home, pre-op my cases for tomorrow, get a couple chores done at home, and then I'm gonna try to make it to tumbling and tricking tonight. All right, I'll catch you guys later. All right, guys, I just got done pre-oping my cases for tomorrow with my attending. I told you guys this morning that I was sick for a few days this weekend, which really sucked. But over the past month or so, ever since I got back from my week of PTO, I have been trying to take my health more seriously because, one, I'm really young. So it's just a really big waste of my youth to not try to be as healthy as possible. And two, I'm a doctor. I should know better. So I thought I'd share with you guys really quick my supplement regimen. First off, a multivitamin I've been taking consistently for the past month. Nothing special about it. These are just some gummies I got from like Amazon. But in addition, I actually take high dose B12. It's 1,000 micrograms, which is much more than is in my multivitamin. And there's a reason for this. So
in general, we know that B12 is important for energy levels, so I figured I should supplement it a bit more. I don't know if I'm deficient or at normal B12 levels, but figured why not. But then also, since I was 10 years old, or as far as I can remember, I was 10 years old, I started getting like recurrent canker sores. And so that's just something every month I get a couple. And I remember literally being in the 3rd grade having a canker sore. So maybe I was getting them earlier than that. If any of you guys get canker sores, you know they're annoying. Well, there's some studies that are a bit weak, I'll admit, with like low sample sizes that showed that maybe B12 supplementation, even in people with normal B12 levels, can help decrease the recurrence rate of canker sores. So I've been just supplementing with B12 along with doing all the other things like trying to avoid triggers, stress management, not having sodium lauryl sulfate in my toothpaste, using mouthwash, of course, hydrogen peroxide mouthwash. So just another one of those like kind of weekly evidence-based things I'm doing. Can't really hurt. It's not a fat-soluble vitamin, it's water-soluble, so you don't really have to worry about toxic levels. So I figured why not. I also have a magnesium supplement I take every day from Magna, of course. I usually drink at least 1 glass and sometimes another one before bed, and that's for hydration and sleep. And along with this, every day I drink greens from Live It Up. I've got it right here. And this is a huge part of my daily supplementation. And Live It Up is actually the sponsor of this week's vlog. Now, Live It Up is not one of those chalky, grass-tasting green powders. It's made with organic vegetables, designed by dietitians, and made with 20 plus superfoods. Live It Up also contains probiotics and digestive enzymes. That way you can support your digestion and reduce bloating, which is very clutch for someone like me, who tends to snack a lot, especially on these long shifts. All you have to do is pour a scoop in some cold water, mix it up, and you're done. It also gives you some extra energy during the day without the need for caffeine or a big crash afterwards. One of my favorite things is just how easy it is to fit into my daily life. As a resident, I tend to eat whatever I have access to, which isn't always the healthiest. So having Live It Up as part of my supplement regimen just helps me make sure that I'm getting all of my nutrients in. It's basically the one thing that I can do every day that will move me in the right direction. I always talk about the importance of habit stacking. So doing things like drinking my greens and staying hydrated just keeps me motivated to do better. Again, it's a good way to give you some momentum. Live It Up Super Greens is all natural, no synthetic vitamins or minerals. It's sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and nut-free. So it sits really, really light after you drink it. You guys might be like me before I started drinking Live It Up Super Greens and thought greens just taste like the grass in your backyard. But they're actually different. They blend well. They actually taste really good. They've got their regular flavor, but they also have other ones like wild berry, which I have in this container. Again, you just throw in some water and then you can take your mixer and mix it up, or you can throw it in your smoothie or protein shake, whatever you want to do. You guys can try Live It Up by going to the link in the description box below or by scanning the QR code here on the screen. Plus you'll get free shipping and they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's risk-free. You can try it out and see if it's right for you. Make sure to check them out, and thank you so much again to Live It Up for sponsoring this week's vlog.
There you go. There we go.
Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Today I've got a lineup of some spine cases. They're gonna be a bit more involved. We're gonna have to do some extra lines, monitors, flip prone at the beginning. So just a bit more setup. Good experience for me. I've only done like a handful of spines at this point. So should be a cool day. It's really freaking cold outside. Like, I know it's December, that makes sense. But San Diego, baby, where's the sunshine? Like, it's dark, and now it gets dark really soon too, at like 5. Which kind of sucks, man. I love the sun. I love natural light. There's no bueno. Anyway, let's have a good day.
Alright guys, I am done for the day. Sorry, not a lot of vlogging. Like I said, I had some spine cases scheduled today and I just had to be really locked in. There was a lot of setup involved, including all of the lines we needed to do, all the medications, the drips I needed ready. I was just very locked in, very focused on my work, that's the priority. That's literally why I'm here. This always comes second, of course, but great learning experience. Those tougher cases where you have to have a lot of things ready is good. It makes the easier cases feel easier and really lets you practice, I think, your manual skills as well as your anesthesia knowledge. Luckily, my attending was there because it was a lot, honestly, but it went very well. And then, interestingly enough, my second spine case today actually got canceled. And I'll spare the details, but essentially the patient was at a high risk of bleeding based off their lab work, their past medical history, all that stuff. We drew extra labs in pre-op, things like PT, PTT, INR, all that stuff. And between discussions with the anesthesia team and the surgery team, we kind of just decided, you know what, patient is just at a high risk of bleeding. We need their anticoagulation taper to be better optimized. This is a case that can wait another few days or a week. Doesn't need to happen today. And so in that context, it is safer for everyone, especially the patient, to just cancel the case. And the reason I'm sharing all this is because I really want you guys to know, as the general public, that your surgery teams and your anesthesia teams really take so much into consideration when you're going under surgery. And it is our top priority to keep you safe, not just get you on the table and get the surgery done. Especially for cases that are not emergent and can be delayed, there's no reason to put a patient on the operating table that we believe is not going to do well. And so although I didn't get experience from doing the anesthetic for this spinal case, I did get experience in parameters by which a case might be canceled. And that's still a very good learning experience for me as a CA1. Anyway, with that said, I need to get home and pre-op my cases for tomorrow. I haven't even peeked at them yet, so I need to do that and call my attending. And yeah, that's about it for the day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Morning guys, happy Wednesday. We're in the gyne room today. I believe we have a salpingectomy and a couple D&Cs. Not too bad, not too bad. It is, however, going to be a longer day because I have my cricothyrotomy workshop today, and that's at like 3 or 4. So it doesn't really matter what time I get done this afternoon because I have to go there after. So long day. I mean, I guess it could be worse. I've stayed till like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night before. So like, can I really call it a long day? Not really. But I just can't go straight home after. It really is fine, and it'll actually be really good practice for cricothyrotomies because I haven't had to do one, thankfully, but I want to be ready for it when I do have to do it because that's one of those things you don't want to hesitate about. Anyway, I'll keep you guys updated. I need to go set up my OR, and then we have grand rounds this morning, so I'll catch you guys in a little bit. All right, I am done. It's like 12:30. I got done a little bit sooner than I thought I was gonna get done, but I still have my cricothyrotomy workshop at 3, which is here at the medical school. So I'm actually gonna stick around and get some practice questions and studying done for the next couple of hours. So right now I'm just sitting outside, was catching up on a couple chores I had to do, some finances and stuff, and right now I'm reading through the procedure for performing a cric and what we're going to be doing today, and it's kind of just really nice. I'm just sitting outside right now in the sun, low breeze going on. You don't really get to do this during the day. Like, I never get to just sit outside for like an hour and a half and enjoy the fresh air. This is really, really nice. All right, guys, I just got done with my cricothyrotomy workshop. It was about a 2-hour lab. It was just me and another one of my co-residents. They kind of just scheduled us over the next couple of months where 2 at a time we'll go into the surgery sim center to practice on pigs. I feel like I should explain this a little bit. So in science,
We tend to do a lot of things on both models like mannequins, for example, but also we sometimes have to use animals, and these are animals that are specifically for science. And you see this in places like research. You see a lot of rat studies, for example, but you also see it in medicine where certain things need to be practiced on models that more resemble real human experience. For today's workshop, we use pigs, and these pigs are on ventilators and they're anesthetized, and we practice anterior airways on them. And we first did it on a model, and then we did it on a dissected pig airway, a trachea and everything, and then we moved on to the real models. And some people might be uncomfortable by this. I get it. It's something that not everyone feels great about, right? But we have to acknowledge that it is responsible for a lot of life-saving advancements in medicine, and we should feel very fortunate to be able to do these workshops, because practicing this today can save a life in the future. You know, it would really be unfortunate if the last time you practiced an anterior neck airway was on a plastic mannequin, and now you're at bedside with a patient that needs one. Now, with all that said, obviously I did not vlog any of this today, because even though they are animals and pigs, you still have to respect the fact that this is real life. This is a living thing. And so you're going to treat it with the same respect as, say, a human, of course. So no vlogging, but I still want to give you guys a rundown of kind of what the experience looked like. So as far as cricothyrotomies go, this is kind of like a last ditch effort to get an airway on a patient that needs an airway. And so this could be a scenario in which someone is having acute hypoxic respiratory failure, they need an airway, they need an ET tube, and you put them under, or you just try to get the airway and you can't get a tube in through the mouth, you can't get past the vocal cords or anything, but then you also can't mask them. This is the main thing. If you can't, with a face mask, bag a patient, that is a very dangerous scenario. That's an emergency. Because if you can't get a tube in, but you can mask someone, you can still oxygenate them, you're breathing for them, you've got time, you have options. If you can't mask someone and you also can't get a tube in, that is very dangerous. That is scary. You need to act quickly. And the last step of what is the emergency airway algorithm is cricothyrotomy. So there's a couple ways that you can do that we practice today. One of those is with a needle, where you stick a needle in and essentially get into the trachea, and you do that by having some saline in a syringe attached to the needle. Eventually air bubbles come in because you're in the trachea and there's air in there. And then essentially you take a guide wire, pass it through the needle, and then you make an incision with a blade, and then you get your trach onto it. That's one way. Another way that you do it is just by grabbing the thyroid cartilage and then making a 4 centimeter-ish incision. And then you can either take what we call a bougie, which is kind of like a stylet kind of thing, pass it in, and then pass a tube over it. It's called railroading. Or you make that same incision, you dilate, and then you put the tube in through the opening that you made. So a couple ways that you can do it. It's always good to have options. We practiced all of those techniques today, and I am very grateful that I got to do that on the pig model, because again, one day I might get called bedside to do it. And that's something that needs to work and needs to go well to save a life. Because if you're at the point where you're doing an anterior neck airway and you can't do it, then the consequences are bad, obviously. So failure is not really an option in that scenario. That's one of the reasons I'm very grateful to be doing my anesthesia residency at a program like the one I'm at, because I want to come out of residency as competent as possible. Anyway, that was enough. I hope you guys kind of got a good idea of what my last couple hours looked like. It's late, as you guys can tell. It's dark now. So I'm gonna head home. Luckily, I don't need a pre-op for tomorrow, because tomorrow is our education day. So we got a lineup of lectures in the morning, and then should have some time off in the afternoon, which I'm really looking forward to. But I'll tell you guys more about that tomorrow.
Morning guys, happy Thursday. We're not in scrubs today because it's our education day, so we got like 5 hours of lecture lined up. It's gonna be a long day, but it'll be nice to be out of the OR a little bit. Let's have a good day.
All right, guys, I am done for the day. Today was pretty good. We had lectures. It was like all cardiac stuff for like 5 hours, which was pretty good because one, we were fed, got breakfast and lunch. That was nice. But two, because it was nice to just like get didactic education on a day that we were excused from the ORs versus we do morning lectures every single morning before cases start. So it's kind of hard to be like, I don't know, super into it because you're also thinking about your cases for the day. So I really like our dedicated didactic days. We got done around 1-ish and we actually walked over to the UCSD campus and played some pickleball for a little bit. And that was kind of fun. Just get some sunshine and exercise. And then I figured while I was down here, might as well grab a little coffee and do my pre-opping for my cases tomorrow rather than just going home and doing it. I wanted to like get some extra outside time, enjoy the sun, and that was really nice. I'm really glad I got to do that today. It's so nice to have a day out of the OR, and I just love the sun so much. I love sitting outside, I love doing things outside. I just like crave it all the time, man. That's all I want. It sounds so dramatic, but it really is tough spending so much time inside. Whatever, man. It's the life I chose. Anyway, it's like 4 o'clock. Pretty tired, not gonna lie. I feel like I'm just like dragging my feet through the week a little bit. So I'm gonna go head home. Maybe get some exercise. Maybe not. We'll see. I did go running earlier this week. I forgot to vlog it, but I did a nighttime run with my roommate and my friends. So that was nice. So maybe we'll run today. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Sometimes you gotta just do what feels right, what feels good for your body. Not every day can be super active or planned out. I played some pickleball. Wasn't that good of a workout? No. But it does the job. I don't even know what I'm rambling about at this point, but this is my vlog, so you guys get to deal with it. Anyway, I'm gonna head home. I'll see you guys later. This is the behind the scenes that you guys don't see.
I probably look busted right now.
It's okay. And he just got done getting a bunch of dubs on Fortnite. And now he's uploading tomorrow's video, which this one's gonna be really cool, comparing anesthesiology, CRNAs, and CAAs. Very excited. Hey, Papas. Let's go to bed. Bro, you need a haircut. You can't see. Hi, sweets. Hi, Papas.
Morning guys, happy Friday. Getting out of bed this morning was so hard. The puppies were so cuddly. I woke up and Chip was just snuggled between my arms and Chewy was leaned up against the other side of me. And it was so warm and cozy and they were so cozy and I had to get out of bed. It's like the worst part of my day, man. But again, it's Friday, which doesn't mean a whole lot for me because I just have tomorrow off. And then I'm on at 24 on Sunday. So basically I just have tomorrow off. But then I'm post-call Monday. So that's kind of nice. But still not as good as a 2-day weekend. But let's look at the positives. Are there any positives? I'm just kidding. Let's have a good day. Yo, we are done. Look, the sun is still kind of out right now. It's almost gone, but I'll catch maybe like 10 minutes of sunshine. I actually totally forgot that I was the late resident today, but luckily it's like almost 5 o'clock which is not bad for being the late resident. I should have just known. I kind of spaced and forgot. But it was a good day. Everything went well with my cases. Didn't really have any issues. No problems really at all. Overall, it was a straightforward week in the OR. And next week is gonna be another long week, starting with a call on Sunday. So I literally have tonight and tomorrow off, and then I'm on a 24 Sunday, going into a full work week next week. I'm really excited because next weekend my brother and DePaul are coming to town, which I cannot wait for. I hate to do this, but I think I am going to end the vlog a little abruptly here. Usually I like to talk for a little bit, share some sort of deep message with you guys, but honestly, I just have found it hard to vlog this week. Been a little exhausted, a lot of working and just kind of in the zone of things. But also tonight and tomorrow, my only days off from vlogging before we go into our call shift on Sunday. So I need time to edit this vlog that you guys are watching sometime between now and Sunday morning. And tonight I'm going tricking, and then tomorrow is a full day of celebrating one of my friends' birthdays. So a little bit busy, but it's a vlog. Technically, this really just never ends. It's just constant vlogging, just split into different videos. With that said, thank you guys so much for joining me in another week in residency. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.